3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 40.
40.
That's 40 people of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Travers.
It almost seems like I was letting you do that, but I was actually checking if I had a water bottle in my room.
Whatever.
Was Spirit, he already introduced himself. We got 3 topics. Let's run through them real quick.
Topic number 1.
Topic number 1 is WWE no longer heavily scripting promos and potentially how that will affect the business.
Topic number 2.
Topic number 2 is MJF being radio silent after his pipe bomb promo.
And topic number 3.
There was a premium live event this past Saturday, and we got the results, and that's topic 3. But first, let's hop into topic number 1.
Take it away, Matthew.
All right, so WWE is foregoing heavily scripted promos. They are really changing post Vince McMahon era.
Yeah, from what I have heard is it's either going to be less scripted promos or less scripted. I've also heard it might be less scripted, I guess, matches.
I would doubt that, since the wrestlers would need to know how to protect their opponent to not injure them.
Yeah, cause I heard, since I was at this show, I heard that most of the McIntyre Sheamus match, which honestly was probably one of the best, should have just made it. I know they made it some sort of Dublin sort of match, but they honestly just could have gone with like a street fight or something.
A Dublin street fight.
Yes.
That was a terrible accent. I am so sorry.
Yeah,
Anyways.
but for me, with WWE doing less scripted, I'm wondering if that's going to affect from certain wrestlers who have left the company or are considering coming over to said company.
Yeah, speaking of which, I've actually heard Sasha and Naomi might be coming back.
Yeah.
Which, that would be awesome.
Yeah. But the question is, babyface or heels? Yeah. Honestly, with WWE doing less...
Frig.
You forgot the timer?
It's going now.
Well, 40 episodes in and Matthew's still doing the same old shit.
Hopefully I'll have it down by episode 52.
Unlikely.
Yeah, but to be fair, I had it on the outline so we can actually remember the topics.
Alright, but what are your thoughts on this, Matthew?
My thoughts are, if they're going away from heavily scripted promos, that someone we'll talk about in the next topic might actually want to jump ship.
Yeah. another thing that I believe about with doing less scripted promos is maybe it will give someone a minute. Maybe you could have like someone like you could have a lot more interesting promo battles these days.
Yeah.
My honest thoughts are since Triple H has taken over, this is gonna be entertaining.
Yeah. Triple H. For those who didn't watch last week's episode,
Go watch it.
or listen to it, I guess I should say, because this isn't a video podcast, though Spotify would offer that. Note to self, talk to editor Jesse about that.
You were saying?
Triple H is the new head of creative in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, that means essentially he is
The head of creative.
Yeah. Basically, he's a guy that right now.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think with heavily unscripted promos is maybe you could have some more interesting dialogue being used than that would normally not be used under WWE umbrella.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
What are your thoughts? Well,
If there that's more of like a new attitude era feel to that's the vibe it'll give me, at least. Like, does it mean that we're gonna get a new CM Punk in WWE? I know you didn't ask that, but I'm gonna say that now.
no.
Probably not. There's never gonna be anyone like Phil Brooks. And while I'm on the topic of AEW, I know this is really off topic. I forgot to mention this in the intro, and I doubt either of these two listened to it, but congrats to Sean Spear and Cassie Lee on expecting a baby.
Yeah, I doubt they listen to this shit.
Yeah, I said I doubt they listened to it, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
But back on topic. Hey, ADD, give me a break.
I will say with WWE possibly having less scripted promos, maybe that this will give people people that aren't really good on the mic to actually get good on the mic.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying by that. Or maybe allow the wrestlers to put a little more of themselves into their characters so they feel a little more
realistic. Yeah. Yeah, that seems fair.
Because like I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast, but if I was a wrestler in World Wrestling Entertainment or an indie contractor, superstar, whatever you want to call them, and a writer walked up to me with a script, I would be like, look, I get you probably have like a creative writing degree and everything, but let's find my rival, let's sit down, and let's help you with the script. That way it feels like something we'd actually say.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this guy would just be like, Yeah, I'm not saying this crap. And by this guy, I mean my cohort, the Executioner.
Thank you. But I will say that we have promos is maybe that this could also help maybe with the NXT talent get comfortable on the mic.
Yeah.
What are you? All right.
I just realized you could hear me even though my mic was set for instruments. Anyways, the timer
Yeah.
just went off.
We'll be back with you.
Well-
You know the thing by now.
Yeah, we'll be back after this.
And we're back with topic number 2. MJF going.
The timer.
Yay, Matthew's actually remembering to do that.
Well,
MJF.
it's like a tradition for me to forget
Yeah,
at least
okay.
once an episode.
Yeah, anyway, what I was saying. Thank you for doing that. That MJF has gone radio silent ever since cutting that Pike bomb of a promo.
Yeah. Did you say Pike? I think you mean pipe.
Whatever.
But yeah. AW at all since.
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to do after you say, quote, fucking.
Yeah.
That's just a recipe for disaster.
I mean, honestly, with MJF, it's really hard. What makes MJF so good is that you really don't know if he's what he was saying, because what he was scripted or not. You really don't.
True. Yeah, you're right.
And I also will say
Because,
that
like, AEW, I feel like if AEW, first off, I'm pretty sure is unscripted.
yeah,
But if they were to script, I feel like they would let their wrestlers do the writing.
yeah, that seems fair. And I honestly, my honest speculation is, maybe what is that? What is that bumping around noise?
I'm filling with stuff on my desk. Don't worry about it.
Okay. My honest speculation is now with MJF gone radio silent, I honestly believe that it might be legit whatever the hell is going on between him and Tony Khan.
Yeah. It, like the passion he spoke with. That's what gets me.
What was your speculation, Matthew?
I have no idea. Like, legitimately no idea.
I mean, truth be told, and I know that this has been something that I don't know how it has ever been said on this podcast, but I believe has. But honestly, MJF has been, a great wrestler. I am honestly surprised that AEW, since he has been with AEW in the beginning, I am honestly surprised that AEW.
Hello? Uh, can you hear me? You're like fading in and out. Hello?
I said, look, I honestly think with MJF, like, I honestly believe that since MJF has gone with this, I honestly believe he believe, I honestly believe that MJF should have been involved
Yeah.
in some rivalries. Don't get me wrong, but I am honestly surprised that they have not on him.
Yeah,
Hey.
before we continue this discussion, I want to apologize for the audience for the distortion that they might have heard. We get so passionate when we talk about wrestling that's why the audio errors are happening.
Yeah, what do you think, Mr. Smith?
I believe that, well, I'm not sure how to put this without sounding like I'm being a jerk.
And I'm
Okay, MJF on he should request a release. Like he's even said, why 2024 fire me? If you're unhappy, ask for your release. And he said that he would sign with WWE. We could get some phenomenal rivalries. Or hell, Miz could get a tag team partner that isn't Ciampa to gang up on Logan Paul.
this is speaking of Ciampa, but I've actually heard that Ciampa's favorite wrestler is The Miz.
That honestly wouldn't surprise me.
But my honest thoughts are, look, hey, do I agree with you that MJF should ask for his release? Yes. MJF such a good generation talent that he's honestly a dude that you really shouldn't have on your roster and not even use. It's just kind of
Yeah. Anyways, I think that MJF being radio silent is either like he's suspended or something and he doesn't want to talk about it, or he's getting ready to ask for his release. But the timer just went off. We're gonna take a break before we get into the results of the SummerSlam 2022 prediction battle. We'll be right back. There we go, and we are back with the final segment, which I'm probably not going to set a timer for because, we don't really do that for anything related to the prediction battle. Anyways, it is the results of the SummerSlam 2022 prediction battle, and we're going to be doing this a little bit differently. My co-host was unable to watch a majority of the show, so unless he's seen clips on YouTube, he won't know what happened for most of the show. I'm going to be the one taking control of this. We're going to go in the order that we predicted because I don't remember the order of the show because I was drinking during SummerSlam.
All right.
Anyways, the first match we predicted was the Mysterios versus Judgment Day, which I forgot was an ODQ match, which made it being under like them having to tag in and out utterly pointless, and they should have just made it a normal no DQ
or a tornado tag match.
Well, sorry, what I meant was a tornado tag no disqualification.
Yeah.
And the match was pretty good, actually. And of course, we had the return of the Rated R Superstar.
Yeah. Which
Edge is back, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
And he didn't return like as rated R. It was Brood Edge.
Yeah.
But then the next time, the next 2 nights later on Raw, he was back to being the rated R superstar.
What the hell?
Yeah. But anyways, in the end, actually won a point.
Yeah, they said Edge.
Yeah, thanks to Edge, but it was no DQ, so I will allow it. Anyways, the second match we predicted was Pat McAfee versus Bum-ass Corbin.
Oh, and you might want to remind the people what we each chose for the punishment for each other.
Yes, the punishment. Thanks for reminding me. I don't normally do this, so. Anyways, the loser has to watch a terrible movie of the winner's choice.
And you chose
Catwoman.
the Halle Berry version.
Yes, that's the only Catwoman movie there is.
And I chose Batman and Robin.
Yeah. I was actually debating during the event either Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, or Catwoman. I should be watching I was going to have to watch the worst movie of the year he was born. I obviously had to go arguably the worst superhero movie of all time.
Yeah.
Anyways, back on topic. This match was pretty good.
Yeah. And when I went to SmackDown, for those of you that don't know, I was in SmackDown. Yeah, Baron Corbin or Happy Corbin was in front row and then kicked
He wasn't he like throwing popcorn at Pat McAfee or something?
yeah.
I love how professional they were being and being like, would you mind, we're trying to do our job here?
I'm honestly surprised that Pat McAfee didn't just be like, you know what, I'm done with this. Just jump over and start laying this.
Yeah, I don't think he would be able to do that. I mean, like, I know he has a dual contractor, or he has a dual contract probably, since they're allowing him to get physical.
Yeah.
But anyways, Corey Graves and Michael Cole were on commentary for that. Each of them were biased to the respective babyface and heel in that match. And Pat McAfee never fails to impress.
No.
He's always somehow able to do something that he shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, because I heard on the Pat McAfee show that when he did that Swanton bomb, it got kind of slippery up there, so he just fell forward.
Yeah. And also, like, when the suplex was being reversed, he was able to do a backflip and land on his feet when he hit the mat. Like,
yeah.
This guy's insane. But anyways, the match ended ironically with the babyface hitting a low blow. Corbin got his comeuppance. And then Pat McAfee, after another move, picked up the win.
Yeah. His only loss, think about this, Matthew. I believe his only loss was Vince McMahon's final match.
Yeah. His only loss. No, actually, he's like 2-2 actually.
Yes.
NXT Takeover versus Adam Cole. He lost. He beat Theory at Mania.
Mm-hmm. Lost to Vince.
McMahon, literally after winning against Theory. And then he beat Corbin.
Which,
for a win-loss record.
yeah, which by the way, a lot of people are speculating that at Survivor Series, that's where they might have Corey Graves versus Pat McAfee.
That would be for sure, since Corey sort of had to retire. But
Yeah.
anyways, on to the third match we predicted. Lashley versus Theory. Now, Theory had talked a big game
I mean,
before SummerSlam.
Wouldn't you, if you were the youngest man, now 25 years old?
Well, yeah, but his mouth was too big for what happened.
Oh.
See, he said he was gonna win the US title and then pulled a John Cena and say when he was gonna cash in.
Yeah.
And guess what? Theory lost. So for those of you that are keeping track, that is 3-0 for me currently. And then the fourth match we predicted was the Street Profits versus the Usos.
Solid match. From what I've heard, that was a solid match.
Yeah, it was good. These two teams have great in-ring chemistry.
Yeah.
Anyways, the match was solid. Montez and was crazy as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
But the Usos win, giving Travis 1 up on the board.
What's next?
Next is Bianca versus Becky Lynch. This was actually the very first match of the night at SummerSlam.
Solid match. Good match.
It was a very solid match. Bianca proved why she's the EST.
But that's not what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I know. They're talking about what happened after the match. And actually, Becky got injured in this match.
Yeah. I've also heard that Becky either could return later this year, but they probably want her to return at the Rumble next year.
Yeah, probably. She's actually in the gym while being injured.
Mm.
And Bianca retained, but as like Becky turned face and shook Bianca's,
which
came out.
Which I honestly thought that Becky Lynch I honestly thought since Becky Lynch lost that they were gonna have her even more go down that losing her mind.
Yeah, I think Big Time Bex is over. The man is back. But anyways, after the match, Bayley came out.
Which wasn't, it was surprising, but that's not the most surprising.
And then Dakota Kai came out, which Corey Graves mentioned. I don't think she's under contract with WWE. And then Io Shirai, who has been renamed to Io Sky, came out.
Which admittedly
apparently she signed a new deal with WWE because she's firing soon.
And I guess she's
the faction called Control has been formed.
That's the name?
Apparently.
I should kind of like the name.
Yeah. Though I've heard that's not set in stone. And they were going to jump Bianca and then basically saying, back off, bitches. This is my friend.
Yeah. Next match.
The next match. Now, I will say I did put an asterisk on this win, and I'll explain why. Liv Morgan versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
The match was okay. The match, the competition was solid. It's just the ending is down to an okay. Ronda, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Ronda has been beating the shit out of Liv.
It's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Liv had barely gotten in any offense. and Liv had an armbar locked in on her, and she reversed it into a pin. The ref counted 1, 2. At 2.5, Liv counted out, and the ref counted 3. Ronda was pinned when Liv Morgan had tapped out.
Yeah. And then after the match, from
Ronda turned heel.
Which is like, that's
Why
a lot
were
of
you
shit.
not already heel? The commentary team was literally debating over this until they showed the replays. The first replay showed Ronda getting pinned. Corey said, I want a different angle. The different angle showed Liv tapping out at 2.5, and that's when Michael was like, I agree with you, Corey. Liv Morgan tapped out.
Which,
And
I will
Ronda
say,
was pissed. Like, oh my god, she attacked Liv Morgan? She attacked the referee?
she got suspended?
Yeah, she got suspended and
Storyline.
just livid. I think she's gonna pay attention to this. I'm scared to see what happens on SmackDown. In the words of that Simpsons meme, the fans are in danger.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, the guy brings a sign that says, if Ronda comes, I'm in danger. Anyways, the next match we predicted was Logan Paul versus Liv Morgan. Now, I will say this, I don't listen to Impulsive regularly.
Whoa, you mean...
Logan Paul versus Miz.
Yeah.
I messed up, didn't I?
Yeah, you said, and I quote, Logan Paul versus Liv Morgan.
My bad. Logan Paul versus The Miz. I don't listen to Impulsive on like a regular basis, but I have watched a few episodes on YouTube, and I didn't even know. And apparently, Logan's boys were at ringside. He's converted his crew into WWE fans. And apparently, when he was going to celebrate on one of the ropes, he slipped when he was coming off.
Oh no!
Yeah, so be on the lookout for Logan Paul making his Botchamania debut. And this match was actually really good. Maurice and Ciampa were at ringside for The Miz. The Miz came out with a 1x1 Polaroid of him doing the skull-crushing finale to Logan Paul.
I will say, the only thing about this that I honestly need to say this here, I don't think Logan Paul's gonna last as a babyface.
Yeah, Ciampa got ejected and he refused to leave. He literally grabbed the steel chair and sat in it. Right after that, AJ Styles music started playing, and AJ jumped Ciampa, causing him to fight him out of ringside. And after they left, Logan did a phenomenal forearm. And for the record, Logan won the match.
Which I will say, well, I don't personally like Logan Paul. I gotta give him credit. He is for a guy that has barely been in WWE less than a year, he's surprisingly gotten this shit quick.
Yeah, he has said that he thinks he was born to do this. And it was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly... I swear, people, I'm not becoming a member of the Low Gang, but Logan Paul continues to impress me. He is very impressive in other combats. Doesn't have a stellar record.
Anyway, what's next?
Predicted. And keep in mind, people, I have 6 points by this point.
Yeah, let's just fuck it. discuss this. This last
This was the only
What
match
the
my
f-
co-host was. This was the only match my co-host was able to watch.
yeah, I know, cause from what I saw,
And I just want to let you guys know this. I don't know if our mutual friend has told you this. We had a mutual friend actually in Nashville at SummerSlam.
yeah, I had a friend there myself that was there.
Yeah, the mutual friend. We've talked about it before. He always bets on Brock Lesnar.
No, I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about a guy I know that used to work at the Brave Stadium that was there.
Oh, okay. But he did tell you that he was in Nashville for SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
He wanted me not to tell you. Anyways,
Okay, let's just forget about that. But
yeah. This match was utter insanity. Starting with Brock Lesnar driving a front loader tractor to the ring.
But okay, yeah. First Roman came out, then Brock came out, then Brock turned around, got the tractor, drove it, got on the top of it, introduced himself, and then just
And tossed the mic to Roman. Roman caught it, gave a little wink like, if this place had a roof, we'd blow it off the stadium.
Yeah, and then Brock just jumped, and then these two just beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah. And you know how I said that Theory lost earlier, so he's already not doing good tonight?
Yeah, well, hang on. We'll discuss that in a bit, but
yeah.
They took
these men would not sell moves. I'm sorry, I have to say they were not selling.
They were just beating the this
they
match
were beating
was
the shit out of each other, and then immediately getting back up. I wish I could snap because then you could hear it on the podcast.
Yeah, because this match was getting so brutal that I'm honestly surprised that Brock Lesnar didn't take off his damn gloves.
It was Brock's retirement match.
I mean, and then it was because there was some tables, there was a part of the table getting used, part of the steps got used, and then at one point in this match, this is the part we need to discuss. Brock got on Brock dumped Roman Reigns in the tractor early.
But hang on, can I mention that the announce desk was not broken by either competitor going through it? It was by Paul Heyman going through it.
Yeah. And then after he dumped him in the ring with the tractor, Brock got on the tractor, moved the ring twice, and then
then lifted up part of the ring
with the tractor.
Yeah, I want to know what the discussion with Triple H was like for that. Hey, so we have this and do something with it. Can you lift up part of the ring and have Roman fall down out of the ring? Brock would... Sure, yeah. Roman. It sounds like a fun slot. Yeah, but it doesn't sound like you're getting hurt from it.
Anyway, that's great. And then after the Usos came out, help Theory came in, tried to cash in. Brock hit him with the F5, and then Roman just grabbed the briefcase and beat him up with
Brock with it. Now keep in mind, people,
Theory
is still Mr. Money in the Bank.
And Theory
was
it.
Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Because the cash in was not finalized.
And then, he beat Brock with it, and then he also beat up Theory with the briefcase.
Yeah. And in order to Brock
Wait. And then, he speared him, Brock got back up, and then he got the WWE Championship. Smacked him up. He said, "Don't you ever come back." Smack.
And then they literally buried.
Well, no, not yet. Then Roman hit him with the other title.
So when did we get to the part where they literally had to bury
After that.
Brock in order to keep him?
After
They
that,
literally threw almost everything at ringside at him.
yeah, Roman
Chairs,
Reigns.
table pieces, ladders, if there was,
No.
stairs, parts of the announce desk.
No, there wasn't any ladders. It was just part of the announce table and some a toolbox, part of the steps.
Yeah. And I noticed WWE didn't mention this earlier, but one of the barricades was fully LED.
Yeah,
It's like WWE is being serious with the WrestleMania 2029 arena in 2K20, where the barricades are fully LED.
yeah, and then Roman Reigns won, and now Roman Reigns next month in Wales will go 1-on-1 with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and I will mention, Riddle did show up. He got touched on.
But
It's
yeah,
just
but yeah, that's great. But yeah,
but that leaves the score 6-2.
yeah, and I have to watch that.
I did not win this because he has a get out of jail free card. Or a skip card, however you want to refer to it. Basically, Travis will have to watch Halle Berry's Catwoman in the near future.
Yeah, bye.
Roll that outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit
And the Executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis21, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.